In this video, we're going to cover your requirement to do annual reporting here in the Philippines early in the year and talk about real estate as well. So let's do it. Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We're here at JRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services, and we've got a few topics to talk about here. Number one, it's 2025, and the big topic is annual reports. And so I'm going to turn it over to JR, and yeah, you need to do the annual report, so let's get into the details.
Yeah, Rod, thank you. Happy New Year and Pit Senior for Cebu. We're celebrating right now our annual festivities, which is what we call Sinulog, so in honor of our patron saint, Senior Santo Niño. So annual report. Annual report is a immigration requirement for those who have been issued with the visas from the Bureau of Immigration. So if you've been issued with a 9G, you've been issued with a 13A, you are required then to report to the Bureau of Immigration every first 60 days of the calendar year. So that starts with January 1st and you count 60 days after that. So it would end roughly around March 1 or March 2, depending on its 28 days or 29 days for February. So just count 60 days, first 60 days of the calendar year 2025. So right now, on this year, the Bureau of Immigration had made some great improvements of how they do the annual report, because before, the subject or the visa holder needs to go to the Bureau of Immigration to do the annual report. And then right now, they already have an option to do it virtually. So you can actually do it virtually, provided that you will have your appointment in place, and they will actually have or do the annual report through online or virtually. So that's one good thing, provided that the foreigner or the visa holder should be here in the Philippines. So if they are still outside the country, then that is not yet applicable, but you need to be here in the country. If you happen to stay far in the immigration office and you're more than 60 years old, and you can actually explore to do the annual report virtually. So please be guided on that. And if you also change your address, make sure that you prepare your requirements, because there are a set of requirements that needs to be done for you to update your address at the immigration system, and that can be done as well together with your annual report. And for those who cannot do it because they will be coming over to the Philippines probably after 60 days, don't worry, because the Bureau of Immigration will actually give you a grace period of 15 days upon your arrival, so that you can comply with your annual report within that calendar year.
Oh, so what, even if you show up in July?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's very comprehensive already. Annual report is a yearly thing. So you just need to put that on your calendar, that you have an obligation to the Bureau of Immigration to comply with that requirement, because once you miss that requirement, you will be penalized then thereafter because of you not complying with the requirements. And also, it will reflect on your record on the immigration system that you have not complied with your annual report, and it's not a good really record that you can maintain in the Bureau of Immigration. And also talking about exemptions, so SRRV holders are exempted with the annual report. Why? Because the retirement visa is a special visa being issued by the being spearheaded by the Philippine Retirement Authority, so that does not cover the annual report. So they are exempted for that. That's one of the benefit of you having the retirement visa.
And then the SRV, the retirement visa too, it's a super good deal for retired or military who have their retirement papers in line, because they such a small, what, 1,500 deposit only?
$1,500 US deposit, $1,400 US dollars one-time application fee. That already includes your first year of your either renewal fee or the annual fee, and then the recurring cost of you to renew your ID is $10. So that's really a good deal.
Yeah, really super deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I know many of my friends have used you to get through that. I've watched I've watched JR and his crew, something that will take me or you maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month to get all your papers done and get your things. I've seen him handhold people and get that all done in one day. So consider that, especially if you live out of town.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And also one thing that we have actually experienced right now with our clients, if you have criminal records in the US, make sure that you have a paperwork or document that states that it has already been served, because if it will not, it will be reflected still on your police record. That is something that you would like to anticipate, because it might be a initial red flag upon the evaluation of the retirement visa application. Especially that's a US or a foreign document, and what if you're already here, and it will really take time for you to, time and money and resources for you to obtain that, or for you to clear that away. So that's why it's very important, if you're going to the Philippines for the time being, you need to, it would be best to coordinate and plan it ahead. You can actually talk to us ahead of time, so that once you go to the Philippines, everything, not everything, probably 80% is already prepared, and the rest of the 20% is for us to complete here when you arrive. Then we're ready to go to lodge in your visa application.
All right. Yeah, that's good. It's good to talk to somebody like JR and his crew, because I know several subscribers and friends who came here and decided to do something, get married or get the retirement visa, and they've had to go back to their country to get documents.
Correct.
So if you plan ahead, think ahead, what could I possibly want to do when I'm in the Philippines, and I decide to stay there, what kind of documents do I need? What is apostille? How do I get an apostille?
Correct.
Which is kind of like another, like, certified
Authentication.
authentication, the official word. So yeah, talk to these guys. He can save you a lot of time and a lot of money traveling back and forth. If you plan ahead, check in with them from your country.
Sure.
And go from there.
So it's a matter of how you value your time. I know you have a lot of time to be here, but right now you already worked almost the entire lifetime, and when you come to the Philippines, I think it's a matter for you to relax and live life as well. So whatever things that will actually help you to live that fully, then we will actually do that for you. And also, apart from the visa side, we are now launching again our real estate consulting, because by profession I'm also a real estate broker. So once you're actually planning to buy properties in the Philippines, be careful. Don't put down money right away, especially when people urge you to put down right away. That's an initial red flag. So check the documents, check it first. Feel free to take a look at around. I mean, we have inventories at hand, but we cannot actually cater all of your inquiries. So what you can do, take a look at around, and then once you find something, get back to us or talk to us, so that we would guide you on what are the paperwork that needs to be looked for, what are the paperwork that needs to be verified before you put in your money, because it's your hard-earned money. Maybe you put in everything that you have, you go all in, but suddenly everything was being chaotic, so you lose that. And please don't lose that. It will be a very messy situation for you to be with.
Yeah, I've been here 9 years now, and I've heard so many stories of people, and you know, I do a lot of real estate videos, show people condos and subdivisions, and so many comments I get to, don't buy anything in the Philippines or any other country, and it goes on. The fact of the matter is, thousands of people they're going to buy, they're going to build. So if you're going to do it properly. Make sure, because there's no title insurance here.
True.
So get somebody like JR to check over the documents, make everything is copacetic and legal, and go from there. And yeah, you're kind of transitioning more into the real estate now. Okay.
We're opening that one because it hurts me the most when people came in. JR actually into the situation that is, I already paid, but later that I found out that this land is not properly subdivided. This land does not have a title. This land has a mortgage, and I paid it to the different unauthorized representative. I mean, please be cautious of what you're doing in the Philippines. The Philippines is a different country from yours, so it's really better to do your due diligence. And then there are realtors here that can actually help you. So just look around, and then if you found something, okay, JR, I found this. Is it a good buy? Yes or no? I will never hesitate to say that, okay, this doesn't look good, and it's probably not a good buy for you. And if you really push it, then it's up to you already. But we have already done success stories about it, and we were not able to provide the property that they wanted, but I told them, okay, look for that property, and then once you find one, because the internet has a lot of options for you, once you find one, let us know, and we will actually take a look at it, and we will help you to really navigate you to do it properly.
Mm-hmm. And you have a lawyer on staff also.
Yes,
not
we
only
do
you're a real estate broker and appraiser, but you've also got a lawyer on staff.
Correct.
If
Yes.
you need to get any legal documents
Yeah.
checked out, that type of thing.
Yeah,
All right.
we do have.
Yeah, and I brought this question up to you too. I've got a friend who's got the SRV, and he says it's burning. He deposited, what, 9 years ago, I think he deposited $20,000 US in the bank, and to cover his retirement. And he says it's burning a hole in my pocket. He also bought he sold another property in London that he had, and he's got that cash. So he's saying, I want to buy a condo with that, and I want to. Is there a way for him to transfer from the SRV to? Is that an investment?
Yeah.
Visa at that point in time?
I think that would be if we're talking about the SRV, when you apply for the SRV, you need to put in a deposit. That's what you mentioned for the $20,000 US. That $20,000 US can be withdrawn. So during the application process, you need to put it in. You cannot just say, hey, I already have a condo, can I use it? No. You need to put in the cash. You need to have the money inwardly remitted to their bank account or selected bank account. And then once you will be approved with a visa, the retiree holder for the retirement visa would have the option to withdraw that deposit. So the 20 grand can be withdrawn with these options. One is a purchase of a condominium unit. The condominium unit should be ready for occupancy, meaning it's all up, it's not pre-construction. The title is there, the deed of sale or the sales contract is there, and the tax declaration is there. Those three are the basic ownership documents that needs to be presented to the retirement office before they will actually return back the money to you. But it will not work that easy, because there's actually a process of doing it, and we have tried it so many times already. That's what we call substitution. Now, when you have your property, the first qualification is the property should be, or the condominium unit or apartment should be at least $50,000 US upon acquisition. That's number one requirement. If it falls below that, it will not qualify. If you have a parking space, you can add up the parking space and the unit. If it's more than $50,000 US, you can use that too. Now, the catch is, when you actually presented that, and they will actually evaluate your documents, and if it merits, like, hey, it's $50,000 US, the ownership documents are there, then well and good. They will actually process it, and then before they will actually withdraw that, they will actually put a lien or annotation on your title that says, and I quote, more or less in that way, that the sale, the mortgage of this property shall be subject to the retirement office. So in effect, they will actually put a lien on the condo title before they will give you back the 20 grand. Now, if you're gonna analyze it, it's somewhat, there's a swap or exchange of deposit, because your condo title right now is having already a lien or annotation, which will be a restriction on your property. So right after that, the procedure will go from the retirement office. They're gonna inspect it. After they're gonna inspect it, you're gonna process it to the titles office for the annotation, registration, and then get a certified true copy, and they will process the refund of the 20 grand to be given back to you. That's the procedure. Not so many people are actually not so many people are talking about that, but we can actually talk about that because we have done it several times already. So that's one thing that they need to understand as well. Now, for the other one, there's what we call long-term lease of a house and lot. So the same principle applies. The house should be titled. There should be a tax declaration for the land and the house, and then there will be an annotation for that. There a lease contract for 25 years at least, with the sum total of the lease would be around $50,000 at least, and then the proceeds will be given directly to the lessor or the owner of the property. It will not be given back to the retiree, the SRRB holder or the retiree itself. That's the misconception, because the house should not be owned by any relative or having some filial relationship with the foreigner, because that will actually defeat the purpose of the long-term lease. So most of our clients actually bought a condo, and then they actually, hey JR, I will not let that money sit there. I wanted to use it somewhere. So we actually process the substitution, in which they already got their money back. There's also a annotation on their condo, and they always have the option to put in the money back and then cancel the annotation if they wanted to sell the property.
Now, do they stay on the retirement visa because they have bought the property? That's not the investment visa.
No, that's not the investment
visa. Yeah, that's something else. That's more like a business, starting a business or something.
Yes.
Okay, I've been confused about that. So yeah, they stay on the SRV.
Yes.
But they've taken it out of the bank and they've used it to buy property.
Correct.
All right, very good.
So the general thought of that concept is that you can withdraw your money, but they will actually put a lien on the title of your condo. So there's an exchange of deposit, if we're gonna analyze it a little bit deeper.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that could going forward. That could get. There's all kinds of questions about that. If the guy is 70, or my friend is 89, so the lien is on the property, and then what happens? He's got sons and daughters, and they're in their 70s, I think 60s or 70s. So if something would happen to him, you know, the transfer of property and
Correct.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's also one point to take a look at right now, because if the retiree holder or the retirement visa holder will pass away, if he has properties here in the Philippines, like for condo, or the visa deposit itself will be forming part of his estate. It will be passed on to the legal surviving heirs. So if they're divorced with a spouse, it could be their children. So that's the hierarchy of the Philippine laws. However, before it will be passed on, an estate clearance should be processed prior to the transfer of the property or the release of the visa deposit. So an estate clearance is also a different procedure that you need to be aware of, because you need also to prepare for that. You will be paying the estate or the estate tax of the deceased person before it will be transferred to the legal surviving heirs of that particular subject or the registered owner of the property.
That is a topic for another video. We could go on for 5 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of guys, because it's happened recently. There's been a couple of vloggers who died here in the last year or so. And you heard the guy. Did you know the guy? Every man has a story.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Okay. And apparently he had his affairs in pretty good order, because years ago he had a heart attack or something. So he understood that he had some issues. But I think there are probably thousands of foreigners here in similar situation. They're not in the best of health. They're married, they may or may not have a will, and yeah, the if something happens, what all the legalities, you know, the
Sure.
transfer of property and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they need to
Assets.
understand that because it will be forming part of their planning as well, especially if they're coming here and they're building a new family, a very young child, 1 or 2 years old. Then that's something, as a good father, you will always take a look at the welfare of the child and also with your spouse here.
Yeah. All right. All right. 2025.
Yeah, 2025 will be a great year. So Rod and I will be working together with our with us to help you on that aspect, and we are opening up our property consulting. So we may not be showing you the exact property that you wanted to, but if you wish to consult, let us know and we will be there for you.
And you have offices here in Cebu City, right next to Ayala Mall,
Correct?
and Dumaguete,
Yes.
and Manila.
Yes. 3
And-
offices.
And the good thing about Manila is some things have to go through the Manila immigration.
Mhm.
That you can't even process some things here in Cebu City.
Sure. That's true.
And because you have an office up there, you can expedite certain types of things. You
Mhm.
send it through your office and through the Manila immigration, so you have some key ties there.
Yeah, correct. We have our actually team there working on. We were able to have the process being in place because we really invested for that office, and it's also an assurance to our foreign friends that we are really legit and they can actually verify us, not just online, because there's a lot of scams going on online right now. And we wanted really to show you that we've been here for almost 8 years now, and we have helped out a lot of foreigners already. So take a look at that. That's actually an assurance that you are really well taken care of. That's really the main objective.
All right. Well, I think anything else you want to add? I think we covered quite a bit here.
Yeah, we covered we covered a lot already. So initially we don't have any like list that we were gonna talk about, but we're already covering a lot, and we do hope that our friends will be taking a look at their welfare actually here in the Philippines, and we're gonna look after you. So you may wanted to do it on your own, but it's a matter of how you value your time. And Rod and I will be here to help you out. And visas, we're on it, and also the property consulting, we will be on it as well, for you to be guided properly here in the Philippines. I think that will be all, buddy.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, and we'll be seeing you soon.
All right.